Hi, Alicia Williams here on location today, talking to John Callanan, the developer and owner of Rules Beach, just south of Agnes Water. And John's going to tell us a little bit about the project and why it is so unique and quite exceptional for this area of the world. So John, over to you.
Oh, Rules Beach has been a passion of mine for the last 19 years. I acquired it just after the turn of the century, and it took me almost 17 years to get the council to approve an absolute beachfront subdivision. You know, this whole Australian government is against beachfront subdivision in rural areas now, and we've managed to nail 15 absolute beachfront lots, which is really, really unique. And I built myself a display home up there, or a holiday home if you like, but it's a display home. And we use that to show people through what you can build. And I spend quite a bit of time up there, really love being up there. The beach is, you can drive a four-wheel drive on the beach, but I really love just walking on the beach. Sometimes it's windswept and sometimes it's sun-soaked, and other times you can see fish swimming in the shallows. There's very few people there. It's really untouched and uncrowded, which, because I live in northern New South Wales, in Byron Bay, in fact, and it's really crowded here. So that's my escape. It's a beautiful spot. It's bitumen road all the way to the door, to the front door, so you can drive any sort of car there. We've put in underground power and underground water, which we draw out of the soil or the sand below the property. It's pristine water for drinking. We don't need to filter it. In fact, I drink it without filtering it, but in the glamping tents that I've built, I've put a filter on just in case, but I'm very happy to drink the water that comes out of the ground there. As I said, there's 15 absolute beachfront lots. They are 750 square metres. They're all the same. They all directly face onto the beach. They all have a view of the ocean. And in front of the lots, there's a good 100 odd metres of conservation area that can't be developed. So the future is intact in that regard. You can't get built out, what have you. Adjoining these 15 lots, or
sorry, sorry, I was just going to say, that's probably the important part about that area is when we talk about absolute beachfront, it is that you have built in that buffer with the conservation area, because the coastline is constantly eroding, but they still have that exclusive use to the beachfront.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, for years that beach has been eroding very, very slowly. Since I've owned it, it's receded a few metres. I reckon there's it's going to continue unless the climate changes in the other direction than the direction it's going now. But there is a good 120 metres of conservation area. And part of that's covered in a littoral rainforest, which is extremely rare and extremely valuable reality. And probably a third of it is covered in is littoral rainforest, but that doesn't block the view, because that's really in front of the adjoining parcel, which we're going to develop a very upmarket glamping and camping and caravan park on. So that will hopefully start next year, and it'll take a year or two to build.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know?
Well, I think the glamping tents are something pretty special, because you put them in, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, we started them at Easter, but we actually got them open with COVID in the last week of June this year. We just put 2 glamping tents in to really test the market for the glamping park that we want to build. And we've been blown away by the bookings. I think we get $285 a night now, plus a cleaning fee of $100. So minimum 2 nights, so minimum $700 to go glamping on the beachfront or near the beachfront, still 100 metres back, but a very, very private spot nevertheless. Yeah. And attached to these glamping tents are outdoor stone baths that are very private, and a big metal fire pit. So it's camping, but with a beautiful luxury bathroom and a luxury kitchen and a king-size bed, a mattress this thick, and air conditioning and heating. Yeah. So it's extremely luxurious, and the bookings and the feedback on Airbnb and stays has been fantastic. Everyone's loved staying in the glamping tents. So
Yeah.
I've stayed in them too, just to test them, and they're fantastic.
Some quality assurance, making sure.
The reviews can't be wrong. Go to Airbnb and look up Rules Beach Glamping and have a look at the reviews. And it's 5-star. Everyone loves it.
They're very, very popular. Now, I guess coming back to the display home that you have built, and that's also available for Airbnb. Geordie Laurie was the builder that had constructed that, and I think the glamping tents as well. Geordie is well known to Gladstone people. He's been around here for quite some time and has a very good name in the building industry. The type of building design that you're going for, it's more that eco-friendly sort of footprint. Can you tell us a little bit more about what those concepts are?
So we've got some covenants on the titles for these 15 beachfront lots that really aim to create low impact housing. So a single story footprint with lightweight materials, no brick veneers, flat roofs. Well, actually, flat roofs are not, we withdraw that. You can actually put a hip roof on it, but we built the display home as a flat roof.
Yeah.
And Geordie Laurie was fantastic in building them. His price was very, very good, much, much better than we could possibly do in Northern New South Wales. And he's currently quoting all of the buildings in the caravan park, and I'm very, very confident that Geordie will be the builder for the whole project. In fact, so confident I've allowed him to set up some temporary accommodation on the site to accommodate himself and his workers. And he was down there last week just setting that up with some dongers he's acquired from Gladstone. I'm very, very happy with him as a builder.
He'd be very happy with the crabbing nearby too, from what you've told me. No complaints.
I think you'll spend more time crabbing than he will. Until I start cracking the whip, he'll be spending a fair bit of time crabbing and drinking beers.
Yeah, I think so. And for the people that are considering this estate, what sort of people have you had buy there already? And what sort of traction are you getting from people coming in? Is it the people with caravans, or is it a slightly different demographic of people considering?
We haven't got our current buyers don't own caravans. They are looking for a holiday home, not permanent. We haven't got a permanent buyer yet. They want to build a home and have it rented out when they're not using it. They've seen the display home, how well that rents on Airbnb. There's nothing in the region of the quality that we've offered. If you go to Baffle Creek or Rules Beach and type in accommodation, it's a really low class. And what we've built already with the glamping tents and our display home, and what the other buyers intend to build, it's a new era for Rules Beach. And we've proven that the tenants will pay that amount. They can rent something so much cheaper down the road, but they don't want to be there when they can have the quality that we're offering.
Yeah, of course.
A display home, it's got polished concrete floors. You've been in it. It's really beautiful. It's 9-foot ceilings and stone kitchen bench tops and separate bathroom for every bedroom, double lock-up garage and a sitting room for the television, deck, outdoor fireplace. Yeah, it could have it. All it's really missing is a small plunge pool.
Who needs that when you have the beach?
We've got the ocean out the front. We don't need a plunge pool. But
that's the other thing that I really appreciated too, is at ground level, because obviously it's not 2-story on that front section with those lots, but at ground level you can see the ocean. So it's not as if it's hidden by mounds and then you have to walk to get that aspect. It literally is right there. And we were also quite impressed with the level of amenity that is already there. As you said, bitumen is already in place. You've got the power, the underground water supply. So there's no issues with that. You're not following a dirt track, through there to get to the beach. It's all really, really well done. And that's something I think we're seeing more and more from you, is that your standard is quite a high standard. It's a high quality product. So we're very excited, of course, to see how this next section or stage of the project will go. Because you've talked about the pools and things that will be included. It's not going to be a caravan park as people think. They really need to reframe what that means to them. It's more like that resort, that glamping type resort.
Yeah, and we've just done a tour in central Queensland ourselves, my wife and I, and seen the quality of the rigs that people are now travelling around in, the caravans and cars that they're travelling around in. Has gone up a notch, clearly, and the demographic of those people has got younger, and so they're demanding extreme outback experiences or high quality experiences. They won't settle for mediocre in the middle. And we're going to offer that. And it's been reasonably courageous of us to actually do that and set that bar so high. And now we're being rewarded with the people saying, yes, we'll pay that price to stay there, which is a fantastic testimony to the quality that we've put in and will continue to do.
So if people want to get in touch and with Rules Beach website or the sales office, what's the best way for people to get in touch?
Well, the website tells you a little bit of information and gives you some photos and what have you. That's rulesbeach.com.au. But I'm very happy for people to talk to me directly. So if you have any buyers that want to know more about it, give them my phone number. It's on the website, I'm pretty sure. So I'm happy. You know, it's been my baby, and building the park, the resort, the rest of the resort. I'll be up there doing that, and traveling back and forward. Of course, I can't stay there full time. I've got projects here, but I really like it up there because it's so remote and so untouched and uncrowded. Really, it's really quite natural there.
And in just a few short words, if someone asks you why should I buy at Rules Beach, why would they buy today?
Oh, well, it's so cheap at the moment. I've reduced the prices from 280,000 down to reduced down to 235 grand at the moment. But as I sell lots, the prices will increase. I want to get them back up to that high twos or even up to 300,000 because I truly believe they're worth that. But, you know, the market was pretty quiet last year and we sold a couple at that low price. So at the moment, there's an opportunity to buy. The early bird gets the worm. The prices will increase. That is my personal guarantee. The prices will increase there.
Yeah.
As I run out of stock, the prices go up. And I've done that on estates all over the country and it's always worked for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's a wonderful product. And as you said, if people want to get in touch, they can obviously contact yourself, myself. They can go to the website. Better still go and visit and stay in the glamping tents. Planning to see.
Or the house if they've got kids.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. John, thank you so much for sharing your time today. And we'll catch up with you soon.
My pleasure. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.